Well, that went well. So guys, we are here at the quarterfinals of the Euro 2020 fantasy football game, and I've got to be honest with you guys, it has gone pretty poorly for me from the round of 16 because I went heavy on Netherlands and France thinking that they should progress. Unfortunately for me, that wasn't the case, although the round of 16 was hugely entertaining. I am now in a bit of a pickle, and the main goal for me now is to make sure I finish above Ray from the Wildcats because I don't want him beating me at 2 games within the space of 1 year. So we have some surgery to do to our side, so let's get into the video and try and sort out the mess that has been created by the spectacle of round 16. So let's first start off with how we did in the round of 16, and we start off with the goalkeepers and defenders, and to be honest, it was a mixed bag of points here and a big mistake from me. Marley was absolutely fantastic for Denmark, getting me 12 points, and I thought I was getting off to a flyer in the round of 16, but that wasn't to be the case. Spinazzola also managing to get 5 points from an assist. Unfortunately, he didn't keep the clean sheet. And that's about as good as it gets in defence because Kimpembe didn't keep a clean sheet and is knocked out of the tournament. Alba didn't even start for Spain, which was really disappointing. And because of my rage that Holland got knocked out, I just substituted players straight in and Alba didn't even play. So that's 0 points instead of I could have kept 2 from Wijnaldum or Depay. And Simon apparently had a bit of a howler. I didn't see it myself because unfortunately I was at work, but it was, from what I've heard, a pretty poor goal to concede. And then of course it was an absolute goal fest after that. And I didn't get to watch any of it, so I didn't even get the entertainment that cost me getting any sort of clean sheet from Simone. Moving on to the midfield, and we have Saraba, who of course did get some points, 7 points, and Forsberg also getting some points with 7. However, Forsberg has been knocked out as well, Ukraine getting past Sweden. Then we have Berardi and Insigne, who were very disappointing, and the goals came from elsewhere for Italy as they managed to get to the quarterfinal. Up front, we had Lukaku, who unfortunately failed to impress, but it was a tough game against Portugal, and to be honest, I was hoping just Belgium to get through, so the fact that they did means I still have Lukaku for the next round. And my captain, Benzema, fortunately pulled me out of a bit of a mess with 20 points, thanks to his performance, despite the fact that France got knocked out of the Euros. And then the bench, of course, all the Dutch. And Dumfries, of course, had to come off, but I could have kept Wijnaldum or Depay on for Jordi Alba and would have got an extra 2 points. So, little mistake on my part. It didn't cost me too greatly, but really disappointing to see the Dutch go out. The one team I actually went all in on with 4 players. So, how are we going to fix this absolute mess of 7 players that cannot actually go through for my team into the quarterfinals? I'm allowed 3 free transfers, which means 4 transfers would get me a squad of 15, but that would cost me 16 points, and I'm unlikely to do that. But how many point hits I take is up for debate. In this squad, we're only going to have 1 point hit for 4 transfers, but I could be talked into some more quite easily, especially when I see the team sheets potentially for the first games in the quarterfinals. We start off with the goalkeeper and defenders, and we have 3 players who did survive the round of 16, and that's Simone, Alba and Spinazzola, who I'm hopeful for attacking returns and maybe a clean sheet from the Spaniards. Not too hopeful for a clean sheet in the Belgium game for Spinazzola, but we're adding to the mix Luke Shaw, who has Ukraine. Now, Ukraine did go into extra time and a lot of their players seem to be pulling up with injuries, so I'm hopeful for a good result from England, and to be honest, it's about time I got some of those England clean sheet points. Goal conceded almost certain now. They also have quite good underlying stats. Big chances created. You have Alba at 3 for the tournament and Shaw and Spinazzola for 2 apiece. And I think Shaw was very instrumental in a couple of the goals scored against Germany. So I'm really hopeful for Shaw, but it could change to Stones or Maguire if I feel like Shaw's place isn't nailed on. We have 4 midfielders and we have 3 players that survive. Again, the Italians, of course, are there, but it's a tough fixture against Belgium for Insigne and Berardi. And then we have Sarabia, who did did, of course, get me some points in the round of 16. And we're going to add Ferran Torres, but this could change to Dani Olmo, or potentially we go a different route like Gerard Moreno up front, depending on what we see from the Spanish lineup. But Ferran Torres is my planned move for now, because I think both Spanish midfielders looked impressive in the round of 16, and we're hopeful for some points in this game against Switzerland. No discredit to Switzerland, of course, and I am considering Shaqiri for my side. I'm not sure I can go back to Brillimbolo after the real disappointment of the matchday 3 points returns, so Shaqiri is the one on my list at the moment. Then we get to the forwards, and we're going with Lukaku, of course, still because he survived, and we are looking at Harry Kane and Alvaro Morata. Now, Morata is a player that I'm not too confident in myself, but the fact of the matter is he's managed to get 8 big chances in total, so he's getting in the right positions to get big chances. The fact he's only scored 2 goals is a bit disappointing, but hopefully he can move on from his performance in the previous game. And of course we have Harry Kane as well, 5 big chances, he's only scored 1, so these strikers aren't prolific at the moment, but they are up there for big chances, so that means they're at least getting in the right positions. There is the possibility I look at the likes of Immobile, but that would rely on me thinking that Italy are going to beat Belgium. And of course we are looking at the likes of Sterling, because he has been on such a great run, having now scored 3 goals in this tournament. So potentially if Moreno is starting for Spain, then Sterling can come in instead of Ferran Torres, or potentially Pablo Sarabia. But the fact of the matter is, the way this tournament is going, with 5 substitutes, it seems like most players are going to get some sort of minutes and potentially can come on and be an impact sub, a bit like Jack Grealish against Germany. And we're very hopeful for points on the second day of the quarterfinals from our only substitute in this draft, and that is Male, who for Denmark has been an absolute revelation as a defensive pick in the Euro Fantasy Football game. He's playing really far advanced, and even though Denmark might not get the clean sheets, he's always capable of getting some attacking returns, and he would be the substitute that comes in for whoever is the worst performer from the first day of the quarterfinals. Now, I could potentially go and make a few more transfers, maybe take a -8. We have Kimpembe, Forsberg and Stecklenburg on the bench, so we do have options, seeing as Stecklenburg is 7.9 million and Kimpembe is at 5.6. So depending on what strategy I take with the 4 transfers that I'm planning on making, there could be enough money in the bank to bring in a big hitter as well, which would mean I do go and take that -8, but it would have to be for someone that I think has a big upside. Anyway guys, in the comments down below, let me know how you did in round of 16, and if you still got your wild card, because if you do, then you're laughing right now, aren't you? And also let me know what you think of my transfers, whilst hitting that like button, subscribing and hitting that notification bell for FPL, and do check out the links in the description down below, both for Fantasy Football Hub and Fanteam. Checking them out and signing up does help this channel out, and your support is greatly appreciated. And with that being said, I've been JNO, this has been FPL Today, and remember, it can't get any worse than round of 16 from me.